Them Red Sox. Oh, you guys were so awesome. I tweeted that I was on my way here at the end of the seventh, bottom of the seventh, and I'm like, how can I leave? I barely, wanted to get into the shower, but I managed because you guys were so gracious to me. And then as I was driving here, just pulling into the lot, I saw that we won. So I don't know the score, though. Abraham Esparza, I know you're watching. You didn't text me or tweet me the score. Is it still 6-1? Is that how it ended? Doesn't really matter. The Dodgers weren't playing. I have to throw out an apology to all my Angry Bird followers, friends, if you're still with me, because I was really just a poor sport because you guys slaughtered the Dodgers. So I wasn't really, I wasn't exemplifying, to my daughter at least, how to be a good loser because I'm not really used to losing. And my Niners, in London, that gigantic stadium, and we filled the house. Did you see all those handsome men all dressed in gold and red lined up, all those fans from all over Europe? Very, very exciting. I was like following the helmet on Twitter, all the different places that the helmet would show up. I kept dreaming that maybe my head would be in the helmet somewhere, but it just didn't materialize. And you guys know that I have a helmet. I should have like superimposed it and like pretended I was actually there in London. So you can tell I'm just very content and happy, especially because I have one of my favorite besties in the studio tonight. Ribbit. And no, I'm not talking about a prince or a frog. I'm talking about Rib Hillis, the hot supermodel runway turned host, Extreme Makeover turned my co-star from Piranaconda. But first, because this is going to bed with Terri Ivens, I tried to find the scariest photo, because this is like the haunting time, right, of seasons, the scariest bed photo that I could possibly find. Do you see it? Is that creepy? It's like somebody just up and left. I mean, they even left their coat hanging. You know? It's creepy. That bed, I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. But I thought that was kind of cool. So, at last minute Halloween costumes. Like you're sitting home right now going, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing it because it's too late. I haven't thought of anything. I've got some great ideas for you. We've all seen, and maybe some of you haven't, where you just take those little, chicks and you like just paper clip them to you and then you're a chick magnet. I got one better. Girls, you take all of your pictures of your ex-boyfriend and you cut them out and maybe put a red X through it and like stick them, tape them to your shirt, and you can be a bum magnet. I don't know why I find that so funny. All of a sudden, all these pictures come to my mind. But there is a great, I have a picture of it. It's makeupbee.com has these tutorials of really awesome costume. And all it is that you take this patch. You can cut it out of anything. I would suggest probably something you could see through so you're not walking around with just one eyeball being able to see. And I wouldn't suggest driving anywhere if you're using black paper. But you can see they just cut out like an egg shape. And then all they used was eyelash adhesive that you can get at like CVS or Rite Aid. It only costs like $1.50. And you just put it all on there and then you stick it over your eye. And then you use that same eyelash glue to go around the edges of the eye so it's really cakey, right? And then you can see step by step. And then 6, irritate the eye. That means, just punch yourself a few times. No, just take some of your girlfriend's or your own blush and put it on, around the eye. And then a simple little vial of fake makeup blood, which you can get at like the Halloween store or at Party City. They come really tiny, and then you just want to take your makeup brush and then just dab it all around and squeeze it to let it drip. Don't touch it too much because the more goopy it is, and then letting it run makes it look real. And look at how gory and gross. It almost makes me want to do it. I'm going as zombie Dorothy, because on All My Children they did this whole dream sequence of The Wizard of Oz where Tad Martin played Oz and I was Dorothy. So they actually made me ruby slippers. And then when I left the show, they gave them to me. So I'm going to break them out. So if you come to my door and you see my ruby red slippers, you'll be like, Simone! Because you won't be able to recognize me other than that, because I'll be all gooled up in a really short Dorothy dress, because, of course, it was All My Children, and they made sure that some part of your body, some kind of skin was showing. And ladies, you do know that you have to pick your body part if you don't want to be a slut. Unless you're dressing up as a slut, and that's different. But, like, pick out. If you're going to show cleavage, show cleavage. You're going to show your belly, show your belly. You know, a little, abdomen is very sexy. If you're going to do legs, do legs. But don't do all three at the same time. Mama is not happy with that, And if your buttocks is a little overflowing, and we all know for true, like, what our buttocks really looks like, cover it up. Don't go, like, high. No one wants to see your junk in the trunk. Okay? Not unless you're going as, like, some type of Loch Ness monster or something, and then it works. Then I would say highlight, and then to highlight, you want to go underneath the wrinkle. It works, I'm telling you. You go with it, and then, like my former husband had this thing on his nose, and he had to get it removed, and it was around Halloween one year, and he was all bandaged up, and so I just put a little purple eyeshadow like down underneath, so then it made it look like he had a black eye, and that was his Halloween costume. I beat him up. It's very believable. So, but I have some really good photos of really great makeup. I think the first one is from Face Off, TNT's amazing TV show, which actually has its series finale Tuesday, November 5th at 9 o'clock on Sci-Fi Channel. And it's so cool. This guy is named Tate. I think it's Steinseek. I know him as Ill Will, but it's illwilledproductions.com if you want to hire him, because he's that amazing. He actually was the creator of our Piranaconda head. And I know you're going, Piranaconda? I know that name. I'm going to show you a clip. But he did that photo that you just saw, and now he's in the finals. So you want to pay attention and watch, because that's really the makeup that they're doing on this season on Face Off is phenomenal. I mean, truly amazing. And like the next photo of my friend Doug Jones. Doug Jones, this is him as Frankenstein's creature. Is that crazy good? Crazy good. Now, you probably don't recognize Doug in that makeup, but he works more than any other friend that I know. He actually just finished the 20-year reunion of Hocus Pocus, which is an excellent Halloween movie, by the way. He was the hot, sexy corpse in Hocus Pocus. And he is Lord Pan from Pan Labyrinth. Yeah, that big, evil, not so sexy. That scary, really tall, crazy guy, he was that. You want to know what else? He was McDonald's Mac Tonight. Like when I was a kid, remember there was the Moonhead? Mac Tonight, hey! That was actually Doug Jones underneath that Moonhead. And then McDonald's didn't want to pay him everything that he's worth, and so they tried to get some other guy, actor, to be him, and it just didn't work, and they pulled the promos. There's only one Doug Jones. I'm going to try to get him on this show so that you can actually really meet him, because he is a stellar guy, just so funny, And he's filming right now, which is why I can't get him. He's up in Vancouver. He's continuing a new season of Falling Skies on TNT. He plays Conch. I think that's how you say his character. He's like the alien that goes and attacks the little town. I've been tweeting that I think Conch needs a love interest. I don't know who possibly could fill those shoes, but I think I'd be a great alien-esque type creature, right? And it's just not, spooky time of the year unless we see the picture of the Wicked Witch of the West, which, of course, I found and brought up because of being Zombie Dorothy, Margaret Hamilton. My gosh. She did this movie in 1939, and the movie still ranks on IMDb in the top 500 of all-time great movies, right? And it is. I mean, arguably, it comes to, like, my kid is scared to death. But she herself, and she passed on, she graced us until 85. She passed on from a heart attack on May 16th. She was 83 years old. She was actually born in 1902, which I find just so amazing because I know history. There's this amazing woman who in real life was a kindergarten teacher. Yeah, the things that you find out. And she is quoted as saying that after she was the Wicked Witch of the West, that children were really scared of her. And it made teaching kind of hazardous. Of course, it was kindergarten. Hello. But they thought that she was really mean, like before she ever even spoke, because she was that great of an actress. And that great of an actress she is because she was cast in over 121 movies. But, of course, we see her face and we see the Wicked Witch of the West. She's one of my favorite actresses, and I do everything possible, outside of strangling Riley to try to keep me in the top 5,000 of IMDb, and she does it effortlessly. I think I need to be like some kind of wicked character. I could pull that off. I don't know. It'd be too fun though. It's like Lily Taylor. Have you seen her in The Conjuring? Well, I know when she read that script, she was like, hands down, I'm doing it. That is a part that I would scream to do. I have brought a clip for you because before it came out, it just got released on DirecTV, which is why I'm telling you, go look, because you go pay-per-view it. It's so good. Patrick Wilson's in it. Ron Livingston, who's in everything. I'm like, my gosh, like every time I turn around, Ron Livingston is in a movie, another one, and they're all great, and he's always so solid. But Lily Taylor does such a great job in this movie that I brought a clip. Let me just say this. I was getting my nails done, and one of the producers of The Conjuring, his wife was there, and she said that she had just gone to the premiere, and it was, it was really, really scary. And I said, oh my gosh, my daughter wants to see it. And she said, absolutely not. So we saw it. Because that's the kind of mom I am. We snuggled up. We had our pizza. We had our popcorn. We had our red vines. We had Riley, just in case they really came through the walls. Riley was going to protect us. And we had so much fun. I mean, it's really scary, but it was good. And, we watched it around 6, 7 o'clock at night. So, there was no nightmares because there was still a little daylight. And then, of course, we actually went to bed with the Notebook on because of me. I needed to go completely the other way and see a little Gosling so that I wasn't thinking about some other witch. Okay, watch this clip. You're going to love it.
Based on a true story. In 1971, the Perrin family moved into their dream home.
It's gonna be great.
But they didn't know it was the site of a brutal murder in 1863 and countless horrors in the century that followed. What happened to the parents in that house was so disturbing, the family has refused to speak of it. Until now.
First day, we fell in love with the house.
I get my own room.
The owner says, do you and your family a favor, Roger. He says, keep the lights on in this house at night. A couple of days later, it came back to me, and I had an idea that something was wrong.
From day one, there was a heaviness and there was a scariness.
Things began to happen in the house.
We started to see multiple spirits in the house.
See? It's standing right behind you.
Because I was the youngest and the most vulnerable, I was approached more than anyone, and I actually had a relationship with that boy.
I think something bad happened to him. Follow me this way.
I had gone to bed. I opened my eyes. The apparition started to come down to me.
Look what she made me do. Nancy?
From the director of Saw and Insidious.
We waited 30 years to tell our story. Because 30 years ago, the world was not prepared for this.
On July 19th,
Oh, God!
experience the terrifying truth.
Who is that?
The Conjuring.
Look what she made me do.
My daughter and I have been doing that to each other. It's freaking me out, actually. Oh, so I hope you have some amazing plan ideas now for tomorrow. And you can't say that I didn't try to help. But guess what time it is? It's time for me to get my little rib on. Oh, my gosh. Yes. See? See what I mean? I know everyone is happy right now. Rib Hillis is here in the studio. Hi, Ribbit. So you want to tell everyone, or should I, how you got the nickname Rib?
Well, first of all, I got to say, you got to love the internet. I mean, those pictures, you Google the things you can come up with.
Oh, believe me, I have a collection.
You don't realize that everything can get out there. How I got the nickname Ribbit?
Yeah.
I was a little boy once, believe it or not, and I was about 6 years old. I was catching frogs in a pond in upstate New York where I used to live, and I caught a bunch of frogs that day, and I got the nickname Ribbit. And my friends started calling me Ribbit. Well, I was about to move to Newton, Massachusetts, which Red Sox won. That's awesome. Because I grew up in Boston. I moved to Newton in the first day of school in third grade to teach this a new student. His name is Robert. Should we call you Bob, Bobby, or Robert? And I just said, call me Ribbit. And all the kids in third grade, their ears pricked up. And they're like, what? That's so cool. And it matriculated home. And my brother, my father, my sisters have always all called me Ribbit, or Ribby. And my mother is the only one. She's only ever called me Robert.
Of course, because she named you.
Yeah.
Robert.
And then when I went off to Europe after college, the French had a fun way of saying it. They say Rib.
Rib.
So je m'appelle Rib. So I just when I started my modeling career in Europe, I had one name, just 3-letter name, kind of, you know.
Well, of course, because what better name, for a model than
No, it's great until
Rib.
you come back to America and then everyone's looking at Rib, because again, Rib, it sounds, but yeah, then you come home and they're like Rib,
really?
Yeah, I had one agent that actually tried to talk me out of using Rib, and I was on the set of Angel. And they were calling for me, and they kept calling for Robert because she goes, "You should use Robert. You should." So I'm on the set, and I'm hanging out and crafty, whatever. And they literally had to come up and put their hands on me and grab me and say, "Robert, we're looking for you." I'm like, I had no idea you were trying to talk to me. I can't be Robert. I've been Rib since I was a kid. Better or worse, I'm Rib.
I love that, and I love that story. My dad his name is Spud, not his given name on his birth certificate. He's actually Frederick, but he's been called Spud since he was born because the doctor, when he delivered my father, sent a telegram to my grandfather that said the new potato king, because my grandfather worked in potato, whatever you do with potatoes. Dig them
Grow
up.
them?
Yeah. I was going to say manufacturing, but that would make me sound really blonde because you don't manufacture potatoes.
You are getting blonder. I do like that, Terry. You are getting blonder.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But the telegram came to my grandpa and said the new potato king has just arrived, and he answers to the name Spud, and it stuck.
Well, that's just it with nicknames. You can give a nickname at any point in your life. You just have to know that the people that previously knew you as something may not catch on. But like, you could move to a new town and introduce yourself as whoever you want.
I could be Candy.
Yes, you could. You could certainly. You could be Candy. Do you have any nicknames? Ones that you can say on air.
I do. I have many. I have a whole group of friends, like you were saying, I have a group of friends that call me T-Bone because I guess I'm bony. I have another friend that for years, 10 years, has called me Olive because of olive oil, I guess because I'm skinny and gangly. Oh, Popeye. T-Money, T-Bone, in junior high, I was Bear. And then again, on All My Children, completely different surrounding, I got nicknamed Bear. But I think that was because I was overbearing.
See, I'm feeling a little like left out now. I only have one nickname.
Yeah, but it's so good. It's so good.
I just got to say, it is so good to see you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know we haven't seen each other since
haven't.
you got married. I was at Ribs and Elena's wedding.
Yes.
Which was
a
awesome.
year ago.
Has it been a year?
A year ago, August 19th. Yeah.
It was a great.
No, August 17th.
Yeah, get that date right.
Well, our baby was born on the 19th. I better make sure those things are correct. One or two, the 19th and 17th. I know that Magnus came, he came 2 days after our anniversary. So the 17th and the 19th.
That's awesome. Yeah, so, here, Rib and I, we did Piranha together.
We did.
We actually did a few other things. There's this, I got to model with Rib, which I have to tell you, to be on camera with Rib as a woman is very stressing because he's so pretty. So it makes you as a woman, like I know Elaine is sitting at home right now going, oh, girlfriend, preach it to the choir. Because it's tough, like girls will be like, oh, I want to be with like some really hot guy. No, really, you want a 7. If you're with like a 7 guy, you radiate just waking up in the morning. So that's my advice. But we did this.
Your advice for the women out there is find an ugly guy.
I didn't say ugly, I just said a 7.
Okay.
Just 7. 7's good because he's probably nice. He probably, if you're a 10 or a 9, he probably thinks you are because he's a 7.
Well, if he's a 7 and like let's say he's a 6 and you're like a 7, 8, that makes you by like relation look like a 9, even maybe a 10.
See?
So you're raising your game immediately. I think actually that's a great idea. And you could go even further and say you don't have to lose weight. You just have to hang out with fatter people. Hypothetically, of course. If you're the skinniest person in the room.
Is that why I don't have many friends? Everyone likes to talk to me on the telephone, but they don't invite me to go places.
You do what you say. You do that same thing to your friends. You're skinny and beautiful.
No,
and
you know
talented.
what? No. Whatever. I've been with like amazing supermodels, like women, and they are all outrageously tall. And I say I'm tall enough when people ask me how tall I am. But they're so tall and so gorgeous. And like I have many girlfriends that are these supermodels because not very many like quote beautiful girls have many girlfriends because no one, like you're saying, really wants to hang out with them. But I have walked through restaurants being behind them, and I'm telling you, I don't like it because they don't look after them. So I'm like, hello. So I would prefer walking first because then, of course,
you should lead the way.
I should lead the way because otherwise I'll get no attention. And
well, I would agree with you. You are tall enough. It's perfect package.
Aw, see, this is why I.
And you know,
love
I gotta say, when I heard that I was going to be going to bed with Terri Ivens, I kind of expected something else. But you know, I'm glad to see her.
That it's a real show.
Be here nonetheless. Yes, I was like, wow, okay. I'm Wednesday night. Yeah, I'm good. I could do that. But you're in your pajamas.
I am. You just see what my shirt says?
And it's unfortunate that the audience can't pan down and see because she has these tiny little like hot shorts on.
I do.
Yeah,
I always do. That's why you at home, especially, you know.
And I have nothing on. I'm bottomless. I just have a T-shirt, just completely.
You guys got to see this video that Riv and I shot, this modeling one. It's pretty cool, and it was edited by one of my peers. You see what I mean? How hard it is to carry a camera next to him?
Oh, come on, please. Are you kidding? Look at you in that. That was amazing.
Winston Kerr, the photographer, was great. Jeffrey Jones, hair and makeup. It takes an army for us girls. And then like him there, he's like, don't I get makeup? And they're like, nah, you're fine.
And the editing of that's what I loved about it too the most.
And Billy Zabka, you know him as Johnny from The Karate Kid.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg. He did all the editing for me. He's one of my dears. And he, most people don't know, he's a very accomplished director and music.
Academy Award nominated, right?
Academy nominated. And also, he directed Rascal Flatts music videos that were nominated for Video of the Year. He did the Hangover video. That song, I forget what song that is. That's like a spoof on Hangover.
Being hungover.
No, the Vegas, the movie.
I should have been in that video.
The movie. Okay, so I want to know, like, okay, so you're a little kid. Your nickname is Ribbit. How did you get into modeling? I mean, that's hardly a little boy's dream, or am I wrong?
It certainly was not. I definitely did not see this as a career path in my life. I wanted to be a professional football player.
Right, you played, right?
I played football
Colorado?
All the way through high school, and then I played in college. I played my first 2 years in college. I played at Lehigh University, which in Pennsylvania, and then I ended up transferring to the University of Colorado. And I was with the team for about a year. I was ineligible because I transferred, so I couldn't have played. But I was with the team for about a year, and then I'm not a big guy. Like I'm 6 feet, 180 pounds, and I was struggling to keep on weight. And I was up to about 210. But at inside linebacker, which is what I played at 210 pounds, I was getting hurt more than I was hurting other people. and I don't know, I guess just one day I woke up and I'm like, wow, I think I might be cut out for something else.
Modeling.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was at the time. And I stopped playing football my sophomore year, beginning my sophomore year of college, and did a lot of other things, and I lost a little bit of weight, and a buddy of mine said, you look like a friend of mine who's a model, you should try it. And I mean, long story short, that's how it happened. He took me down to a modeling agency, and this is how long ago it was. They took some pictures and they faxed the pictures. They didn't email them, they faxed them. That's from dating myself. to Milan, and they said, ciao, si, sendribo. Yes. So I went over to Milan, Italy, and did the fashion shows between my junior and senior year of college, and then in between in Christmas break of my senior year, I went back to Milan. And then after college, I went to Paris, and I ended up living in Paris for 2 years.
Wow. So you, because of modeling, am I right to remember that you got to live all over the place in all these exotic, amazing places? Because it's a great craft if you just want to travel and live in exotic places.
I've literally perfected, or my skill set is being a vagabond, I think. Yes. And as my father likes to say, is waking up with little sleep and still looking camera ready, which is really all it comes down to. My dad has always said they should take a bunch of models, put them on a plane, fly them on a red eye, and when they get there, and that would be America's Next Top Model test. The ones who show up looking good, because really that's what it is. Models, they don't sleep much. If you can look picture ready.
Wow.
So.
Such pressure to be beautiful like that. I would crumble under that kind of pressure.
It's tough when you look at your resume and you're like, what have you been doing for the last 22 years of your life? I've been doing this. That's it. That's all you do. And I go, wow, I really should have stayed in school. I really should have.
No, because you have gone on, because modeling opened up the great door, which I first remember you from Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I wanted things to break in my house, and because I
have fixed things in your house.
You have.
Yeah, there was a clogged drain. She would stand in inches of water.
That's so gross. I can't believe you're telling me.
Inches of water, and she's like, I don't understand what's wrong with it. Well, I think you got a plunger out, and I pulled out.
No, you did.
I pulled out the longest piece of hair thing, and it worked like a charm afterwards. And she was.
You taught me. Yeah. I was like, that's amazing, because basically you just took a plunger.
She was standing. You know when you stand in the water and it gets cold because it's been too long.
Got that part.
It was cold water that she was standing in for like weeks.
It wasn't that bad, and it wasn't weeks.
Oh, that hair thing though was like long.
That's so gross. That's so.
And then
gross.
I was under your sink, doing my plumber crack impersonation.
That's true. That was like Easter. The whole family was over.
Yep.
Elena and the kids. And I'm like, Elena, do you mind if I borrow your guy? Because I got a leak underneath the sink.
Oh, wow.
He did. And she's like, no, go ahead. And you did. You fixed it.
So you had your fantasy come true if you wanted things to break in your house and me to come fix them.
That's true.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
If you speak it, it will come. It's more than just a metaphor. It's actually a real truth. I'm gonna go break my something else a little later and go rivet.
I'm gonna do that later on too. I'm gonna speak some things.
You're gonna speak some things. See, that works. It really does. If you speak negative into your life, it just attracts. You call it whatever you want, but if you speak positives, you speak hopes, meditate on whatever it is that is good, right, and just.
I want that guy from Extreme Makeover to fix something in my house. I want that guy from
See, it can be as trite as that, or, it can have some depth to it. I believe that, and that's about as deep as I get on this show.
As long as you believe it, I think it comes true.
Right? I think so. So we were in Kauai filming for about 2
I feel
or 3
a little
weeks.
at home here. Look at
I know, my little pied-à-terre, like that. Here's a clip of Piranaconda, so you know what we're talking about before we go into stories.
Something in the river. Something big. Something bad. Something that likes to eat people.
Some kind of animal, like nothing I've ever heard before.
Not the mythical river demon. 100 feet long, teeth like daggers.
It's like an unholy union between a piranha and an anaconda.
You mean a piranaconda?
I can't believe you just said that.
You and I are in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I fell into its nest of eggs.
Oh, just take me.
I have something on me.
Yeah, allegedly it was some sort of egg goop. Allegedly, I don't know.
It was hair gel. That's all it was.
But
there was a running joke that it was, some other thing.
That was such a fun time. The best part about that was we didn't shoot anything at night because supposedly sci-fi viewers tune out after night. I could have been that, or we just didn't have the money for a lighting package. But either way, it was win-win for us because we would be like, wrapped and wheels up, heading back, and then there was a bar sitting at a poolside that had the best edamame hummus. And if you've never had edamame hummus, you have to have it.
Really good.
And we would sit there. And this
perched like we were at Cheers.
I shouldn't tell, we should make it sound like it was harder than it was. We were drinking Mai Tais watching the sunset in Kauai.
Hard, please. When they watch the clip, right? It's like we are hardly doctors. And it was just the cheesiest thing that you just have to laugh at.
Come on, it wasn't like Shakespeare? What do you mean?
Oh, my God. But it was so fun.
What did you say to me? Don't die
on me, Jack.
I'm a stuntman.
And our names were Jack and Rose. From the Titanic. That's the most riveting part of the script.
That was too much fun.
That was really fun. But we just ran around the jungle being chased by a paper plate on a stick.
Remember Jim Wynorski being like, now Pranakana. The director would literally say, he would be the Pranakana.
Yeah.
And
he wouldn't even go that big. He'd be
the first couple times you did it, you'd kind of break character. And then you're just like, okay, Piranaconda's here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It was
he gave me such a hard time, though. Like other actresses would get like 25 to 35 takes. And he would yell at me.
Because he knew that you were a pro and you could get it in
take
1 or 2
takes.
Yeah.
And what was some of his his things he would say that were so hilarious? Like
that was terrible. You know why? No, I hated it. You know why? It was terrible.
It
Do
was
it
terrible.
again.
Right, yeah. He would coin these great phrases to uplift
That was
his
the second
talent.
movie I did with Jim, and I had been in Kauai in the same hotel the year before.
Which one? Oh, is that the Super
Dino Croc versus Super Gator?
Now that's another winner right there. Just the title alone.
Yeah.
You're like the sci-fi indie king. Because I just heard that you did Sharktopus too.
I did. I actually, which I did Sharktopus 2, which is supposed to come out in the springtime. And then I also did another one called Cowboys versus Dinosaurs.
Would you play the dinosaur or...
I played a dinosaur cowboy. And so it's looking like it'd be 4 films that I've done for sci-fi.
That's great.
Three of them for Roger Corman.
Well, you spoke that into being. Remember, we were playing around about how we're going to...
That is true. I was on set with you, and I literally, I realized how...
That you love the genre of creature feature.
Fun it was to make these movies, and how doable it was.
And they're kid-friendly.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to make a movie. And so you were talking about Face Off. So Terri Lang.
Yeah.
Terri Lang was our makeup artist who also went on to be on Face Off. She came back and introduced me to some of my producing partners that I've been working with now. Justin Jones, who was one of my partners on the movie that we just did. It was like a haunted. All these genre pieces are so much fun because you get people to watch them.
But you're producing now too.
I am producing now too.
See, look, he thinks he's just a pretty face, but he actually has a brain in that noggin.
Don't let anyone know.
I won't. They won't believe me anyways.
No, they wouldn't.
It's just a credit on paper.
Because what will happen is they'll Google me, and they'll image Google me, and then immediately they'll be like, oh, yeah. It really doesn't do well to have that.
Well,
we
have pictures of cowboys. You as a cowboy on a dinosaur, I think.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah,
that is taken in this jail cell.
See,
me. Yeah, that was
now
fun.
That is some super CGI effect right there.
We actually had a guy dressed up in a green suit that was running around pretending to be a velociraptor. This is our director, R. Novak. I was driving on the camera car, this cool pickup truck. I played a bull rider, which I was a bull rider at one point in my life. This is a fun shot. I rode a horse into a bar. I literally rode a horse into a bar.
See the fun stuff we get to do. That's not like a mechanical.
No, that is a real. His name's Hobbs.
Hobbs.
And this is Vernon Wells from The Road Warrior.
Vernon Wells. Wait, I know that name. He's a center fielder for the Yankees.
He's done tons of stuff, and he was in the second Road Warrior with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, he's worked a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had a fun summer last summer. That was all. It was 3 pictures back to back, which I definitely was appreciative of it because I did one up in Paso Robles called "Haunting of Innocence" that I was a producer on. I was the lead, and my son Dane got to play a big typecast. He didn't even get the audition. We were like, look, if you want to change the role to a girl, I know a boy. I know a 10-year-old boy that could do it.
But you have a daughter too.
My daughter doesn't want to act.
Good girl.
Yeah, she's rather ride horses. But Dane was like, yeah, you want to put me in front of the camera? He kind of takes after his dad a little bit.
Right. He wants the easy way out.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to work. I just want to smile.
And so we produced that, and that's a psychological thriller. We have actually a release on Redbox in January 6th. That's what we're looking at.
I have a clip. Do you want me to show it?
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Is that one queued up?
In The Haunting.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's do The Haunting clip. That fire is reminiscent of our Piranaconda blood.
Yes. Well, it was the same prop guy.
It's the same prop guy.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Hummel was our prop guy. So, that movie's going to come out. We just delivered, I think, yesterday, and it should be out on Redbox in January. We're looking at January 6th.
And Judd Nelson's in it.
Judd Nelson is in it. We have some Hannah Cowley. Jessica Morris is in it. We have some great actors. My son gets to play in it, and I have not seen the whole thing, which is funny. I'm one of the producers on it and the lead, but I think they're like, we want to wait to get it finished. But I've been hearing through the grapevine from people I trusted it turned out very, very well, and I'm super proud of it. So, Haunting of Innocence.
I like
which to me sounds like an after-school special, but it's
No, that's good. That's good. I like it. Do we show the movie poster? So that everyone knows what to look for when it opens in a red box.
Love those things. Love Redbox. Yeah.
Well, we were in the grocery store, and my daughter goes over to the red box, and I'm like, no, don't touch that thing, because germs. But she clicks the horror button because she did one of your movies too,
yeah, 616 Paranormal Incident.
And she's the creepy little girl, right? I don't want to give the story away, but
you can give it away.
But
you should go out and see it.
But
she's in the beginning and the end,
right? Well, okay, so she didn't die, but so my daughter, of course, didn't have to audition either because she just follows in knowing the right people. But
nepotism, it's all about nepotism,
right?
Yeah.
But the cover of 616 is so cool because it's Dane on the cover.
There was a version that has Dane on the cover,
I think
dressed
that's
up
the
like
one.
a little, yeah,
creepy guy.
He was a little aborted fetus. It's a horror movie. Horror movies are fun. It was fun.
They are. Okay, so I can't believe that we're almost out of time, but I want to play. Do you want to play a game with me?
I
We
would
have to
love to
do
play a game
22-second fling with Rib Hillis, right?
22-second fling.
Okay, so my 22-second fling. I love that jingle.
Is that you singing?
Yeah.
You're the greatest.
Aw, thanks. I love that. Okay, so it's 22 seconds, yes and no answers. You can only say yes, only say no, and then you at home can take your own little marks, and then you can see the tally, which I think we showed you. Okay, tell me when I'm ready to go, Riley. Do you have a sweet tooth?
No.
Do you believe in the hereafter?
No.
Do you believe that there's life forms in other galaxies?
Yes.
Are you pessimistic?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced paranormal activity?
No.
Are you judgmental?
Yes.
Can you two-step?
Yes.
Do you keep secrets?
Yes.
Are you afraid of spiders?
I would have said yes on that one too, but I overcame that fear when I convinced myself that all spiders were women, females, because the females killed the males, and
We
so
eat them.
So
I don't know why I said
was
we.
like, I like women, so I can like spiders. But that
Because we're just gonna eat.
that 22 seconds went by fast.
Well,
that was a
it's
quick.
22
That was
seconds.
quick.
Yeah, so you at home can go look and see, like, if he answers those questions, if somebody that you would like to spend more time with, you know, so he's a keeper, he's in training, or, you know, he's a future ex.
I like the idea of what was it, a bum magnet?
You like
bum
that?
magnet, pictures of all your ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, it's a great Halloween costume.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Will you come back again?
I'm gonna just
Because we
set up
barely
a bed in here.
we barely scratched the surface.
I could talk to you all night long.
Well then, I'm going to say goodnight to you guys because Rib and I are going to talk all night long. Actually, we need to catch up on the finish of the Red Sox. And are you going to come to a Clipper game with me and see Boston?
I would
see the
love
Celtics?
to. I would love to. Yes.
Opening season for NBA. Clippers start tomorrow. Golden State. Of course, we're trick-or-treating. So who wants to buy my tickets? Tweet me. Thank you, guys. I love you and appreciate you. May no bed bugs be in your bed. See you next week. It is not our intention to cause or inflict emotional breakdown, mental disturbance, or physical pain. All opinions are those of persons who spoke them and are subject to change without notice. They are under no affiliation with UBN Radio, its employees, intern, or janitor. If any offense has occurred, say to yourself, I could be wrong. It must be necessary. What else is true? Take a deep breath. Let it go and repeat.